Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are once again joined by the fabulous Miss Jadi G. I will link her socials down below. There'll probably be a bar that flashes above us a few times sharing another video I did with her and her channel and all that stuff. Go check her out and show her some love. For today's video,
we're playing with her.
The Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette literally came in the mail this morning. We were going to film today anyway, but the second I got this, I'm like, change of plans, we're going to use this palette. So, blanket statement, just so you guys know now, we used this palette to create two separate looks. None of the shades were double dipped, so we did not use the same shades. This will be sanitized. If you are sharing makeup with somebody, make sure you sanitize it between uses because you don't want to stick your eye in someone else's eye.
Don't use the same shades. That's not cute.
So, all the shades I used, she did not use and vice versa, but because the palette is like a 50-50 light and dark, I took half, she took half. You're going to get a full review, demo, try-on, tutorial, the works. So if you want to jump into this palette with us, make sure to keep on watching. Please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3 times a week, and that'll be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to jump into this palette with us and honestly just watch us go crazy for like 30 minutes, stay tuned.
Okay.
You guys saw the intro. We're going to be using the Nikki Tutorials Beauty Bay palette. And if you saw Nikki's, like, announcement video, she said that it's, like, the 2 different halves of her personality. So, since Jadi's here, we're each going to take half the palette and make a look. So, you guys are going to get, like, a review from both of us and a 2-in-1 tutorial, I think.
And I find this to be appropriate because we have 2 very different personalities here.
Because I'm all dark and grungy, and she's all light and colorful, we're going to swap. So she's going to take the dark half, and I'm going to take the bright half, and we're going to see what happens. So...
I'm priming. Sorry.
I already primed. But that's because if I don't prime after I do my brows, it's a whole mess. I'm going to start with the shade Zomer right here, which is... It's kind of salmon-y.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer for you, I think.
I hope so. So, clearly I'm here and I don't have the palette, which means I didn't purchase it. So the question is, did you look into maybe a story? I don't know if there's a story with regards to how she came up with the names.
She did a whole video, and every single name has, like, a special, meaningful thing.
Okay.
Like, the red shade, Mikai, is named after her brother who passed away, and it was his favorite color.
The young brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
So every single shade in the palette has, like, a sentimental name.
Okay. So you do know.
And it did retail for $30. This was not sent to me. I did purchase it with my own money.
So I'm glad I didn't order it, because now I get to film and try it with you.
It's blending beautifully already. The formula is, at least from what I'm remembering, the same as the Mama Mitchell Beauty Bay palette, which I have in the closet.
Which shade did you start with?
That one, Zomer.
Oh,
that's my half.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to let y'all know what it is that I'm going to do. That way I don't keep popping this up because it's going to get annoying because I'm just a bit much. I am going to mix Mila on the crease. I will add, what is this, Slasher all over the lid, smoke that out. I'm going to create more of a smoky halo look. I think I want to go in with All In, which will be a nice kind of like pop of color with the Slasher. And I'm probably going to mix in 5 a.m. to smoke out the bottom lash line situation. I'm going backwards. I know. I'm not doing crazy.
No, you're good.
Well, am I being too rough with your eyeshadows?
No, I'm just watching. I like seeing how people do things.
What was it that you said about...
assaulting the pan.
Yes, I do that.
When people like tap like 90 times.
Look, I'm guilty of that.
See, look how the shade you use has all that kick up and mine does not.
But you know what? I'll go ahead and tap in and I'll use that kick up and not just like blow it out and waste it.
See, I just blow it out and waste it because it makes a mess. But I'm also a crazy person. Okay. I also, the way I do eyeshadow, which is very different than a lot of people, is I like to take, like, I will tap my brush in like half a time and gently build it up very slowly. I don't ever want to, like, you're going in with a lot, I would have a panic attack thinking I was going to mess it up.
Oh, no.
But
blending fixes everything.
It does, but I want to blend it gently, slowly over time. I don't want to have to, like, if I don't blend it right, it's going to be a whole mess.
Yeah, but you know what? I was trained in, like, in my house where I needed to be ready in like 10, 15 minutes sometimes. And I didn't have time to like build up the shades. So I would be one to like you were shocked and you're like, why, how are you already on your eyes and you did your brows and your base and everything? And it's like, sometimes I just have to get things done really, really fast. So I work really, really fast sometimes.
I don't.
See, like this here, slasher, you're going to love that when you dip into it. That was one dip. And look, it did my entire lid. And it's really opaque.
Oh, yeah.
So this formula is everything. I kind of want to buy the palette for myself now. Did it sell out?
I honestly don't know. It probably, but I believe they're going to restock because it only stocked once. Normally they'll restock like 2 times.
So I'm going to see if there's like a wait list because I want it. I mean, it is really opaque. Like, she's good to go at this point. I can just work around the rest of the eye. So that I'm not, what is it? Assaulting your pan. Hold up.
Assaulting the pan.
Okay. I am picking up.
You're doing great.
I'm picking up whatever like fell out.
See, look. She made it all nice and clean.
I picked it up. But look, it's just, it is so opaque. I like this formula so far. And I don't have any fallout on the rest of my face, which is already done, which is awesome.
Which I'm liking, like this salmon. It's a gentle. I'm going to be using the salmon as like the blending. And I think I'm going to take the pink and the light blue and do like an all matte look.
I mean, that salmon looks really good on your skin. Which
is totally not my vibe. I never do all matte. But today I think I'm going to.
Let me try not to assault your pans.
Oh, again. You're doing fine.
I'm going to go into the shade Mila, that lighter brown shade. And I'm going to blend the edges of that. What is that like a... What shade is this? This is like a wine, right?
No, aubergine.
See, I can't...
Eggplant.
Is it an eggplant?
It's more of an aubergine, but people could call it whatever they want. Because I think I'm going to do the opposite of what I always do. So I'm going to go into the light blue now, which is called Plot Twist. And I'm going to go right onto my lid with that, which normally I would do my lid last. But I want to see how bright and pigmented this shade is to see if I have to, like, really build it.
And see, that Mila shade actually blended in well with that aubergine. So it looks really... I don't know that I want to use that brown on the bottom now. I think I'm going to go all the way purpley.
Now that I did the blue, I'm regretting it. Because it's coming up more white.
Okay.
So I would stick to using that blue to blend out a different blue. But not so much... I mean, it's fine. It'll be fixable. But definitely soften. I expect it to be like a little more vibrant.
Okay.
Which I shouldn't, because it is definitely a pastel shade. But I expected like full on, not pastel, full on opacity.
Let me see. Does it, because maybe, yeah, no, it's coming off white.
It's very pastel.
Yeah. That
which I like when a color has like a bone white in there, or a palette. So it's a good color to have. But that's definitely not the vibe I'm going for today.
Would you add that one instead?
I could do that.
Although it's not matte. I know you said you wanted to go full on matte. It's definitely not a matte, but that would be real cute.
That would be really cute,
that would be. I'm just saying. You could pull that color off really well.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Do it, girl. You should do a TikTok. I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it.
I ain't gonna do it, girl. I was just thinking about it.
I'm gonna go in with Mama Tutorials, the bright teal, which was originally going to be the inner corner of my all matte look. But
it's okay. You can switch it up. I was going to do that brown, but now I don't want to. I want to do that burgundy, aubergine, plum shade on the bottom too, because I think it would just...
beautiful, smoky, and fall.
Isn't it cute?
Oh my
Personally,
God.
The 2 shades I've used, the formulas are everything. Let me see the blue. Oh, yes. I'm going to say, not sidetracking, because it still has to do with the shade Slasher. I only dipped the tip of this into the shade, and it was a lot. Like, it is so opaque and so pigmented that I needed to dab on the washcloth just so that I wouldn't overdo it. Like, I had to dab to not dilute it, but just to remove some of the product. So a little bit of that shade is going to go a long way. Yeah. But look at this. I dipped into it. I had to wipe some off, and I was able to do both under eyes with just whatever was left.
With the same amount?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I never had to dip back in for the bottom, so.
I mean, again, I'm not loving the way that light blue performed, but I think that's just because I expected it to be a color different than it was.
I kind of feel like it's almost like a little bit of a periwinkle. No?
Right. Like, I would use that to blend out, like, the shade I just used. Oh, my God.
That blue is everything.
I'm obsessed already.
I almost wish, I'm gonna admit, that this palette had a really deep shade. Like, deep, deep shade. Black. The deepest chocolate you ever find. Only because you can definitely create any look with this, but the black, like just along the lash line very lightly, can totally smoke out the look in a different way. And although you have your pops of colors, you have your mattes, I would have liked to see even like the darkest gray ever, because at this point, and that is an all over, like any moment palette, in my opinion. Like I always think every palette should have a really deep shade, no matter what.
I agree. I could definitely get on board with that.
See, like right now, I feel like if there was a black in there, I just add a little bit out here to extend my lash line a little bit.
Blend that around my eye.
No, look what it did. No. Okay, we're going to fix her. Hold on. Hold up.
That is a good opportunity.
Why did I do this? You see how pigmented this? I didn't even dip into the pan. This was whatever was left. I know that orange is on your end, but I kind of want to add orange on top of like the edges on here. So I'm going to dip into that.
Okay. You can
Redemption shade. Really.
See, I love when warm and cool contrast.
I think it's
purple to orange,
yeah.
Peach to blue.
I like oranges to smoke out or like blend in with the smoky effect of my under eyes because of my olive skin tone. I think I pull it off very well.
You absolutely do, especially if you're doing like an emerald green.
Oh, yes, I've done that. Actually, I was talking to someone who I called because she's in the hospital, and she just had to mention the eye look with the green that I did on my channel. She's like, hey, that green. You know green is my favorite color. So that was kind of cute, but...
You haven't seen it yet,
what?
Unless you have.
What?
My Ipsy unboxing went up from when we're filming it last night.
Okay.
I even said on there, I was on FaceTime with Jadi, and she had this like green eye. I'm going to do the same thing in blue because of that exact look I know you're talking about.
Okay, so no, I didn't watch it. In my defense, I was getting everything ready to come here.
It also went up at like 7:30 last night, so I don't take it personally.
I was getting everything ready at that time to come here. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to forget your boxes. But you know your girl's going to watch that, so.
And I know it looks like I'm sickly because of the orange on the under eye. That'll look better once I throw on some liner. So, where are you? Are you on liner and stuff?
I'm going to do liner now. So, I'm going to do the Milk makeup in the brown shade.
I'm going to do this off camera because I messed it up. So, I'm going to go throw on liner and then mascara, lashes, and we'll be right back to tie it all together and talk about the palette. All right, we are back. Threw on a lip and a lash. Now, I just have to do inner corner. What do you got to do?
Me? Halo and make sure I have no lipstick on my teeth. Because I'm so rough with eyeshadows, would you stop being my friend? Because look at that.
No, because I'm going to clean that before I put it away.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying. Okay, you are going to have to experiment with that shade all in because that is really pretty.
I'm going to. And just because I will probably say it in the intro, we are not sharing shades. We're sharing a palette, and this whole thing will be sanitized when we are done. Because do not share eyeshadows because you will be sticking your eyes on someone else's eyes. And
not cute.
Not cute. So I'm probably going to leave this in here and then say it again in the intro. Just so that I emphasize, don't share shadows unless you're sanitizing in between, which I will be doing.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm sure somebody's going to come out like, ew, and be super extra about it.
But
like,
we have not used the same shade yet.
No,
we're not going to.
We know what precautions. I don't share eyeshadows with anybody.
We've also both been working makeup artists.
Yeah.
Like, I know how to sanitize my kit to not give somebody a sty.
Exactly. Although, there's some people, this shade, right? There's some people who don't know how to do that. I'm just saying. But, no, we know what we're doing. It's fine.
Try not to take too much because these get very intense.
No, I know. No, I'm done because I think it did its job. I still have enough left on the brushes because these are so pigmented, which is, to me, is ridiculous. I kind of want to go get this palette. How much was it?
$30?
No.
It's Beauty Bay. Their stuff is cheap.
Wait. Oh, hold on. $30?
$30.
I know you're filming.
And it came with a free pop socket.
Hold on. Let me see if it's sold out. No, this is really pretty. Like, I'm not even... I have zero complaints about the shades that I used. Now, all the other shades we didn't use, so I can't say...
Well, no, because keep in mind, I'm just going to hold up the palette for a second. You used that one. I used that one. You used that one.
Yes, I used this one down here, too.
You used this one, this one. I used that one, that one, that one. So we used half the palette.
I have zero complaints about the shades that I used.
Your eyes look beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the way this palette turned out. So from a formula standpoint, I will say that it's definitely just like the Mama Mitchell palette from Beauty Bay. The formula is great and it does perform wonderfully. I didn't love the plot twist shade just because it didn't come up that intense. But if I was to have cut my crease and then set that down, I think it would have been a whole lot better. I did it the lazy way, so I'm not going to say the palette is at fault. But for the $30 and the amount of colors you're getting, plus a full-size mirror as well as a full-size magnifying mirror.
And none of the formulas that we tried were patchy.
Nothing. Everything worked out really nicely, and I keep catching my reflection in the monitor, and I'm like, blue eyeshadow? Yes, please.
It looks good.
I'm happy.
This is total opposites, though. It really is.
I'm really happy that we kind of like, I went with the grungy look. Because this is normally, you'd go in with like glitter and shiny and sparkles and bright colors, and I would do grungy and smoky and
I would have done like the fuchsia with like the coral, like, yeah, I would have gone really, really like bright and neon-y. So.
Well, I think it turned out great. Definitely worth getting. It is currently sold out, but it is going to be coming back soon. They will be restocking, and you'll be able to get your hands on it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Jadi, for joining me. Make sure you check her out and go to her channel and send her love, because honestly, half of her videos nowadays have me in them anyway. So go check it out. At this point, it's like we should just share a channel. Except not, because I think our husbands would kill us.
And it would be too much.
Yes. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.